I thought it might be fun to start doing weekly vlogs. Not every week, but most. It could be a fun way to track my recovery, to normalize recovery. Plus, taking a few short clips over several days is a much less tiring way of putting a video together. But that all sounds terribly serious. Really, this is just something to play with, to capture what I've been thinking about or doing or listening to. This is just little bits of life. Self-care has always seemed to me like a very serious thing, and I think one of the reasons I've been so apprehensive of the self-care movement is that it never really fit in with my understanding of what self-care was. My aunt is a social worker, and she talked about self-care as the ability to care for oneself, a real skill that she promoted in the kids she worked with. Then, when I got sick, self-care became another serious matter, a scientific and precise uphill battle. The task of healing a seriously unwell body. It's a battle fought on all fronts, with Western and non-Western medicine, Western to fight disease, Eastern to promote health. The self-care I see online is more romantic, rose-filtered and rebloggable. I support the self-care movement, don't get me wrong. I'm so happy that the idea of health and balance is entering the Western mainstream. But I never felt like it was for me. It seemed to be more about able-bodied people taking a casual interest in their bodies, less about people trying to heal themselves. I felt it would be hard to call what I'm doing self-care, to turn it into a beautiful Pinterest photo. When a healthy person practices self-care, we assume it is out of love for the body. When a sick person practices self-care, we assume it is out of fear of the body. Friends give me a free pass sometimes, saying, oh, you're not really one of those annoying yoga and veganism people because you have to do it. And I get it, but I also kind of resent this assumption. When I take care of myself, when I try to heal and to recover, it is out of love for my body, not fear. The self-care movement feels sometimes like an appropriation, which is probably a problematic word to use, which, let's face it, isn't always pretty. But I have the power to reappropriate that rose-filtered image and to have fun with the self-care movement, while ignoring the sometimes ableist premise. My life and my recovery is not a long self-care Instagram post, but it's also not a terribly serious story of illness and struggle. It's something else. It's self-care for survival, filled with meaning and intention and ambition. That's more than anything else what I want to capture in these videos. The joy and empowerment and meaningfulness and fulfillment of taking care of yourself and performing medical miracles with grit and willpower and, yeah, sometimes some candles. Why not? Excuse the wet air. My bedroom might have mold in it. Definitely has damp in it, maybe mold, like bad mold that's making me sicker. So I've moved down here for a while and we're getting the mold out of my bedroom. I'm sleeping on a mattress on the floor. Most days I get up and I move the mattress to here to the windowsill, and so I have more space in the room. But today I was resting in bed a lot of the day, so I decided to leave it in the middle of the room. I've been feeling a lot better lately, as I mentioned in my last video, but saw a lot of friends last week, which is lovely. But this week I think
I just need to pull back a little bit and just really remind myself where the baseline is and just really take care of myself and rest. I've said before that the thing about pacing that makes it so difficult is that it's really hard to always stay in tune with yourself and with your ability, so that's kind of just what this is about, going back to basics, just make sure I've got that solid baseline to build upon. Just watch the clip back and my hair looks absolutely ridiculous. It's got like no volume, it's just like on my head, so I'm not used to seeing myself like this. It'll dry nice, I promise.
Socrates doesn't express his own views in the thing. He expresses the views that are explained to him by this other person called Diometer or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be the person that said he was expressing.
Yeah, me too. Well, no, I didn't. I just said never. Well, what a smart little family we are having chats like this.
Always.
I've taken my podcast out of poop. I've upgraded it.
Slightly busier today. My friend's coming over to visit me in about an hour. That'll be super nice. And then I'm going to pack because we're going to spend this weekend with my family in the countryside. We're going back to Wicklow. I posted a video before in Wicklow. I'll also link below. So I want to rest up for that because I want to have energy to talk to my family when I'm there and hang out and just have the crack in the bands. So yeah. I just watched back some of the footage I got this morning of my kind of just morning routine. I do leg stretches in the morning that are more sort of between physio and yoga, just because I've been bedridden for a lot of this year and I need to just get my legs back into fighting shape. I just want them to work, you know? But I think usually when we see people doing anything yoga-ish or whatever, they're like super healthy, bendy, amazing people, and we don't often, especially if you're a beginner, it can be really daunting because we never see any images of people who are just starting out, whose bodies don't entirely work like a well-oiled machine. Even though I'm kind of insecure about it, I think I'm going to put it up in the video because I think it's important to show the beginning of that process and to show a morning routine where someone's being kind and enjoying being in a body, even if the body can't actually do the things properly, but just like learning and enjoying the process and accepting where you are in the process. Sometimes I think I listen to too many guided meditations and my everyday conversation is beginning to sound like a guided meditation. That's a personal issue. Just ignore it if I start to get all, you know, tar-brack on you. Fact that
What's doing this?
yeah, but also just the fact that like I'm just this kid who like lives in their house because I'm really sick and like makes videos in which I like sing about my life with Bob Dylan songs but change the words a little bit, and you're just this like liberal kid who works in a Bible shop. Like
Alright, okay.